Rest used to feel like laziness. Now I know it's a productive thing for me to do. Welcome back to another episode of Seriously, the Claudia Project. Today I am joined by my girlfriend, Kayli.
What's up?
Who will be walking and talking with us, which will be fun as we talk about rest, how not to feel down on yourself for actually doing it and why it's important. So, Kayli, you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Hi, I'm Kayli.
So Kayli, are you resting currently, or are you feeling guilty about rest?
I never rest. What do you mean?
Is there a reason you think you don't actually rest?
Yeah. Baby, you gotta
Okay.
get ready for the next day. You gotta make sure you're happy and your spouse is happy. That's pretty much it. There's no time.
There's no time for rest. And do you think, like, I know I felt like that before, and so it was really hard for me to find time to rest, but then I would burn myself out so fast, and then I would rest, like, not knowingly, and then I would feel so bad about it. Is that where you are right now about it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I don't know how you, well, today's episode is really about us figuring out how you go about doing that, but I don't know, as a mom, do you think because of the mom thing you feel guilty about resting, or do you think you were doing a good job resting before having a baby?
That's, I definitely think the mom thing, because it's like, well, if he has the baby and you're resting, you feel guilty because maybe she's having a bad day and you feel really bad about it and she's crying and you want to go help, or I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of guilt.
Yeah. I think the goal of the episode today definitely is finding ways to not feel guilty about resting. So, like, last night we went to Texas Roadhouse, and maybe that's not resting, but is that, I feel like that's like resting time.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I've had to make time to see my friends because that's the only way I feel rested. And I will say I'm like a little further out of the newborn baby trenches, and so I'm finding more time to do that. But I know before, probably for like, I don't know, 3 years at this point, because once Carm got sick, I definitely wasn't resting then, and then after I had the baby, and so we're at 2.5 years and I'm like just figuring out how to rest. So some of it is like, do you give yourself grace and just know like this is not the season for rest and be okay with that kind of being where you are? What do you think?
I mean, I definitely think you have to like suck it up and you got to do it.
Yeah.
But I think we're starting this new schedule today.
Okay. Tell the people like what you were doing before and what the new schedule is to try to help both of you out with rest.
What we're doing before, we're just both helping each other the whole time, no rest, we haven't been out, all that yada yada. And now we're gonna try Saturdays. I get 6 hours off, and the next Saturday he gets 6 hours off, and you can do whatever you want. You can still be there, but you're not in charge.
Nice.
So you have your own time.
Right. Okay. So this first week, because her birthday's coming up, I decided to ruin her rest time, which I guess she was going to use her rest day to do house projects. So for you, does that count as resting, you think? Like, would you have felt rested? Or is it just like the alone time that makes you feel like rest?
Well, I definitely need the alone time, and that would be alone time.
Okay.
But also, the house needs some work. When am I going to do that when I get home from work? I'm too tired.
That's true. So, folks, this goes back to some of the first episodes that we had this week where we talked about creating a schedule and like knowing what you actually want to accomplish. That way at the end of the week you feel productive and like you actually pulled things off. So that would be helpful. But I'm excited for you guys to try the on and offs because now you know exactly when your weekends are and how you want to use them without feeling the guilt of not being around. There's so much guilt in it, right? Yeah. It's like the main thing here is that guilt is everywhere and that we shouldn't do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rest is hard, and I think you have to plan for rest. Like I have to literally put it in my schedule and be like, okay, you're not going to do anything. Last weekend I accidentally rested because it was Andre's weekend sort of to go and be with his friends, and so I spent like the whole weekend at home. I didn't make any plans because I had our children, and that's just kind of what it was. And I just sat in the house and I washed dishes and I cleaned the bathrooms, and then I did nothing. And it was the most beautiful thing. I forgot I got this mortgage I'm paying. I need to believe in her. I need to spend time with her instead of filling my calendar up. I think that that's what it is. I think hustle culture has kind of, it's like got you in a sense where like you can't ever stop. And that's where I think a lot of it is. Like you feel like, okay, I have 10 hours today that I could be spending, I don't know, mulching the yard.
Mulching? What are you mulching?
Listen, everyone mulches.
I don't know how to mulch.
I think you just buy mulch from the store, but you know what I mean. I'm not sure where that came from. But I think you just get so used to like grinding it out, and you feel like if you stop, that means that you're like a terrible person.
Or you're lazy.
Right.
Yeah, but you're not.
But you're not.
But it's hard in your head.
It is hard in your head. So if you had to tell people, like, how did y'all get to the point where you decided we need to do something that gives each other time off?
Mental breakdown.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with a little, minty bee going on.
A little minty bee on the side.
Did you feel the mental breakdown actually coming on, or is it something that just was like you didn't realize it was happening and then all at once you kind of crashed?
I never realize it's happening until it's too late.
Okay.
And then it's like a big crash and like a kind of fallout. So.
Yeah, that's no good.
It's not.
Do you, as you look back at it now, like can you look at the weeks leading up to when you had the mental breakdown and figure out like, oh, this is when it started happening?
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Probably. Okay, you want to go that way?
You keep going?
Yeah, we can. So people, this is a very good example of like needing to check in on yourself and like taking the time that you need individually, because being a mother is important, but being a whole person is very important, and not ignoring the signs when things are starting to feel a little out of whack, taking the breaks every day. So I'm a component now of like, you have to have 45 minutes to yourself every single day. Like no matter what time that's at. Like I've been telling you, I've started taking these walks every day because Claudia needs a minute to herself to like think through my day and not think about other people, even though the list is always happening, right? That way you can keep the minty bees down.
Does it count like the car ride to work?
I don't know. Do you think the car ride to work, are you being like actually thoughtful about?
Why not?
Yeah, so I think it's the thoughtfulness of it in my mind that you would need to think through. I think, to me, the car ride is when I think about nothing. I'm like, I don't want to, because then I just start getting, for me, car rides make me paranoid because I'm making like these erroneous lists of all the things in the history of life that need to be done that are probably impossible, as opposed to like taking mindful 45 minutes and really thinking, what can I actually accomplish today? And not, if I was Superman and all the time in the world existed, what could I do? I don't know. The car ride always makes me so anxious for work. You know?
So it doesn't count then?
So not for me. Does it count for you though?
I don't think so, no. I think you are. You're making the list.
Yeah.
What I got to do at work today. And then on the way home, you're like,
okay,
this is what I got to do at home.
This is what I got to do when I get to the house. Yeah. That's crazy. Oh, a little bit of yard work happening here. We love that. Hi. We're doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Trying to work up the sweat.
Okay, I don't think it's going to take very much. Okay, so we've decided that the car ride is not a place that doesn't count. So then, yeah, I don't know. So then rest in the car doesn't count because you have to be active and make sure you're staying focused on that car ride so you get there safely. We definitely want that. So then it really is finding the time to find rest by yourself. And only you really know how to do that. So when does it make sense? But I definitely think scheduling it out has to happen, like what y'all are doing now.
Which is kind of crazy.
Right?
You know? You never think that you're going to have to like schedule and nothing. But here we are.
Right. Because even now for you, it's like you're scheduling your time off to do things that you can't do.
Right.
You know? Which, I don't know. Maybe this counts. We're just like walking casually through the neighborhood. My daily walks have helped, I think. Make me calm. It gives me like something that doesn't require any actual thought. I try to get myself to not focus on everything else that's happening in life and just chill for a little bit. which is hard. Yeah, man, it's that guilt. So maybe next week we'll talk about guilt, how you get through that, because you do be feeling guilty. Lord. I don't think we've been very helpful today. However, I do think that it's a conversation that we need to keep having as parents, as people, all of you, even whether you have kids or not. You need to start scheduling out the time to spend by yourself so that you can be rested. Because as we found, even on days where you have time to yourself, you're using it to schedule yourself to death. So, 20 minutes?
21-minute mile.
That's not too bad. I mean, we're walking pretty casually. Anyway, this is your sign. Get out there. Rest is important. Me and Kayli have not been very helpful. We've only been honest about the guilt that you feel. And maybe right now we're in a season where rest is not really upon us. And that's okay. But being okay with knowing that right now is not the time. But finding time to add it in. Always a pleasure. It's Saturday. We are in Athens. I decided that it's important for me to make time for my friends. So I drove over to see my good girl here. Because her birthday's coming up. She's a woman now. We're not going to get into ages because she's 18 forever, in my mind. We'll be back again tomorrow where we will maybe deep dive a little more into what rest really means and how other people are experiencing it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back for more Walks and Talks with Claudia. Bye-bye.